Even today, the OSCE is engaged in documenting human rights abuses in Ukraine. We have the team from the Office of Democratic Institutions and Human Rights that is in Ukraine and also in the countries that are around Ukraine, that is every day documenting gross violations of international humanitarian law and international human rights law. And so we continue to build up that body of evidence to, one, expose what Russia is doing, two, to build cases so that prosecutors can actually hold people accountable in the future, and then three, tell the story so that the public knows what's going on as this war unfolds. The way forward, as we see it, is for the EU-led dialogue in which the United States participates to continue, and for the two sides to engage constructively in finding solutions that will result in normalization of relations between Kosovo and Serbia with mutual recognition at its center. And we will pursue that path. It's going to be not easy. We've been trying for many, many years, but with renewed political attention and deeper engagement, we think we can make progress. Working together with the European Union, the United States is convinced that, from our perspective, the best path forward to build security, stability, and prosperity for the region is to pursue deeper Euro-Atlantic integration. And all of the states of the region, as you know, are engaged in some form of integration or accession with either NATO or the EU or both. And so we want to use those accession processes. And in fact, North Macedonia's chairpersonship of the OSCE is also an opportunity for this, to advance the reforms that they would implement anyways in order to advance their vision of a Europe whole, free, and at peace, which is in keeping with our vision of a Europe whole, free, and at peace. The thing about corruption is that it is not just a drain on resources, not just an economic drag on growth and GDP growth and performance. It is also a national security issue, and it is a vulnerability that allows outside actors, whether they're nation states or non-state actors, to meddle in a country's sovereignty and in its internal affairs, often for their own benefit and to the detriment of the country where that corruption is taking place. Organized crime, similarly, undermines national security as well as economic growth. So we have an interest in working with all of the states in the region to support measures that will strengthen rule of law and reduce the space for corruption and organized crime. And this is a sustained effort because in many parts of, especially the Western Balkan region, some of these organized crime groups are very well entrenched. And it takes sustained effort from the governments working with outside partners to build a more transparent system where law enforcement can eventually help tackle this problem. No individual in any country should feel like there is impunity and that they can avoid potential sanctions down the road. So without previewing any actions that might be taken by my government, I would say that we will be very active in looking at trying to remove corrupt actors from the scene through sanctions authorities, but also through working with local governments to hold them accountable under rule of law.